It has recently been revealed how much Fresno taxpayers had to dish out to cover legal expenses for Fresno City Councilman Nelson Esparza. The money was used to defend the councilman in an attempted extortion charge, a case that was eventually dropped by the district attorney last year. On this Wired Wednesday, we check in with GV Wire's senior reporter David Taub to find out how much taxpayers ended up paying and why it is so significant. David, good morning. Thanks a lot for joining us today. What can you tell us about this case?
Well, Kim, as we know, Nelson Esparza was charged for the attempted extortion. And now we're trying to figure out how much did the city actually pay? And the number that I've been calculating from request records from the city, $113,000. It could be more. Not all the accounting is finished, but that's a pretty significant amount of money, I'd say.
That is a lot of money. And has it caused any strain among the councils?
You know, oddly enough, the city council seems like they're getting along better. There's always the diverse personalities. On the right's Gary Bredefeld. On the left is most of the others. But I think when this new council started in January, it seems like they're actually getting along better, and they've really put this behind them.
Okay, well, working together certainly is a goal for taxpayers, for those who are making the decisions. But have you found City Hall officials to be transparent with you in your request for access?
Only when they really want to promote something they want to promote. When it comes to something negative or something they really don't want to talk about, they don't talk about it. And the city council has found a way to not publicly reveal when they have these votes, whether it's a payout for a wrongful termination settlement or a settlement through the police department. They found a way where they don't have to take in a vote where any vote really has to be publicized. They found a way around that. So really you have to ask them if there's been any settlements and what the terms of those settlements are. They're not they don't volunteer the information. All right. And you really have to get it out of them.
We know that you will doggedly stay on it, but I do have a request for you, and that is that, a question for you. When it comes to transparency, do you think that it's changed at all, one side or the other, with Andrew Jans now as the city attorney?
Honestly, Andrew Jans has been better with the media than his predecessors. I'd email Doug Sloan or the interim city attorney, and that email would go into ether. They would rarely, if at all, ever get back to you. At least with Andrew Jans, I think because he was in the public eye before becoming city attorney, he already had a relationship with the media. He already knew the importance of at the very least, getting background information to you. So reporting on the law is pretty complicated. Reporting on really the ins and outs of what's going on at City Hall sometimes can be complicated. So I think Andrew Jans has a much better relationship, and he will get back to you if you try to contact him.
All right, well, that's good to know. Hey, well, what ends up happening with this money that was paid out for the Esparza case? How much does that hurt the city coffers?
Well, considering that's over $1 billion budget, is $113,000 not much, but it's really up to the people to decide. The city council governs on behalf of the people. And we know that potholes, people always complain about potholes, especially since the rainy season. How much potholes can $100,000, $113,000 buy? Probably a lot. And we see all these pet projects that the city council likes to spend on, which is perfectly legitimate. How much money is not going to be spent on those because they're spending it on this legal affair matters?
All right. Well, as always, if anyone has a complaint or a concern, they can always talk to their, or at least try to talk with their city council member and let their voices be heard. David Taub with GV Wire, thank you so much for joining us today on this Wired Wednesday.
Thanks, Kim.
We will be right back.